You only have 1 year left. What would you do if a doctor looked you in the eye and said you had only 1 year left to live, and in that exact moment, you realized you hadn't truly lived yet? Think about it. How many times have you told yourself, "I'll do it tomorrow"? It sounds harmless, almost automatic. But what if tomorrow is just an illusion we keep using to postpone the life we're meant to experience right now? In a world driven by productivity, deadlines, and constant motion, it's easy to believe there will always be more time, more chances, more opportunities. But let me ask you something. What if the train you've been waiting for has already left the station without you even noticing? What if the best moments of your life are quietly slipping away while you're busy planning a future that may never feel complete? Robert was a brilliant man from a small town, carrying big dreams in his heart. He didn't want fame or luxury, he wanted something deeper. He wanted to give his daughter a better life, support his aging parents, and provide comfort to the woman who had believed in him from the very beginning. With determination fueling his every step, he left his hometown in search of opportunity. And for a while, it seemed like he had found it. Promotions came. His schedule filled up. His name started to matter in rooms full of important people. From the outside, everything looked like success. But behind the scenes, something far more important was slowly fading away. Success has a way of asking for a price most people don't notice at first. Endless meetings turned into late nights. Business trips replaced weekends at home. Achievements stacked up, but so did absence. Every win in his career came with a quiet loss in his personal life. Still, Robert kept telling himself the same story: "This is just temporary. I'll make it up later." But later never arrived. And here's a question worth asking yourself. How many times have you traded moments that matter for something you assumed would be worth it in the future? While Robert was building his career, his daughter was building memories, without him. She would draw pictures of her father using bright colors, leaving them on the table as if they were little pieces of hope. His wife tried to understand, convincing herself that all this sacrifice had a purpose. His parents grew older in silence, holding on to the simple wish of having their son close, even if just for a little while. And Robert, he kept making promises. Promises to show up at the next birthday, the next school event, the next family moment. But time doesn't wait. It doesn't pause. And one day, during yet another business trip, his phone rang, and on the other end, there was no more time left to fix what had been missed. His father was gone. No goodbye. No final embrace. No last words. Some moments don't come back. Some opportunities don't repeat themselves. And yet, we continue living as if time is something we can control. Months after that loss, life delivered another blow, one impossible to ignore. Robert was diagnosed with a rare heart condition. The doctor's words were direct, cold, and final: "You have at most 1 year." In that instant, time transformed. It was no longer an abstract concept or something to be managed. It became real, tangible, limited. A countdown had begun. And that night, Robert didn't cry because he was afraid of dying. He cried because of everything he hadn't lived. The laughter he postponed. The hugs he never gave. The moments he thought he could recover someday. That same night, something shifted inside him. Instead of rushing home like he always did, he chose a different path, the longest one. He drove past the park where he used to play as a child. He stopped near the small tea stand where he had first met his wife. He looked at the bookstore he had promised himself he would visit one day. And for the first time in years, he truly saw the world around him. Not through the lens of urgency or distraction, but with presence. The life he had ignored for so long now seemed to be calling him back. And maybe, as you hear this, you're starting to realize how much you've been missing without even noticing. The next morning, Robert made a decision that changed everything. He quit his job. No elaborate plans. No guarantees. Just a clear understanding that he didn't want to postpone his life any longer. For the first time in years, he woke up without rushing. He walked hand in hand with his daughter. He laughed without checking his phone. He cooked alongside his wife. He sat down and talked with his mother, without watching the clock. And in that moment, he realized something powerful. Time hadn't changed. He had. So let me ask you honestly, are you truly living, Or are you just existing inside a routine that never seems to end? For 11 months, Robert lived more deeply than he ever had before. He stopped measuring life in money, titles, or achievements. He began measuring it in moments, presence, and connection. Each day became meaningful. Each conversation mattered. The smallest details gained significance. And here lies the true turning point of this story. Life doesn't need to change for everything to feel different. You just need to change how you experience what's already in front of you. How many things around you have you been taking for granted? How many people do you love, but rarely show it? As his final month approached, Robert was no longer the same man who had received that diagnosis. Fear had been replaced by peace. Not because his time had increased, but because his awareness had deepened. He had finally understood something most people realize too late. Life is not about how much time you have, but how you choose to use it. And as his final days came closer, he decided to leave behind something more than memories. He wrote a letter, not filled with regret, but with clarity. In that letter, he wrote, "Time was never my enemy. I treated it as if it were endless, and that was my mistake. I let moments slip away believing I could reclaim them later. But the truth is, some trains leave, and they never return. In the end, I learned to sit by the window, to appreciate the journey, to live in the present. Don't wait for a diagnosis, don't wait for loss, to start living your life." These words go beyond his story. They reflect something universal. Because deep down, we all know what we've been postponing.